Welcome to the Black Duck Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Wilkins. I'm excited to have you join me as I speak with a fascinating collection of folks, all of whom have in common that they've made a way for themselves by finding an intersection between thoughtful consideration and the tactile work of getting their hands dirty. This is an examination of intention, capability, and craft. It's where philosophy meets the blue-collar work ethic and where I find real value. The Black Duck Revival Podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Hunters of Color. Hunters of Color is a 501c3 nonprofit. They're the only nationwide hunting nonprofit led by BIPOC for BIPOC. They're working on increasing Black, Indigenous, and other peoples of color participation in hunting for the sake of conservation, food sovereignty, and to preserve our ancestral traditions. And like I told y'all, the last couple of episodes, they've got a really cool raffle going on that you need to take advantage of really soon, because I believe the drawing will be held on March 18th. Hunters of Color and the Oregon chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers is proud to announce that they'll be donating 100% of the proceeds of this raffle to benefit hunters in Oregon. It'll be a 3-day guided bull elk rifle hunt for one hunter on the 33,000-acre Zumwalt Prairie Preserve in Northeast Oregon during the fall 2023 season. This includes lodging on location at the preserve. The hunter may bring up to 2 non-hunting guests. It's entirely on foot, and hunters should be in good physical condition. The property contains steep slopes and can be physically challenging to hunt. Recently, hunter success rates have been close to 100% with world-class bulls for this tag. Look, this is a great deal. Tickets are $25, or you can get 5 for $100. They're only going to sell a total of 2,500 tickets. This is a really coveted tag. I think there's only like 6 of them every year. 2 of them go to the general population there in Oregon, and 4 of them are donated to non-profit organizations to raise money for conservation. And look, normally this is a tag that can go from $40,000 all the way up to $90,000. So you could pay $25 and get a hell of a bull elk hunt with success rates hovering around that 100% mark, which is about as good a rate as you can get when you're dealing with the wilds and hunting. So if you're interested in checking that raffle out, you can just go to the Hunters of Color Instagram page and follow the link there in their bio. Hey folks, welcome back to the podcast. This week I'm joined by Evan Leroy of Austin, Texas. Evan is one of the founders of Leroy and Lewis. That's New School Barbecue in Austin, Texas. You know, simply put, Evan is one of the most influential barbecue chefs cooking in America today. Absolutely one of the kind of cutting-edge chefs and cooks there in Austin, Texas, and contributing to that whole scene and that kind of culinary legacy. I met him when he came up with mutual friend Bradley Robinson of Chud's Barbecue, and we went catfishing for a few days, and I was impressed not just by his culinary know-how, but his approach to the business of running a restaurant, and that goes deep into like how things are prepared. It's about where the food's coming from. And I think something that gets overlooked a lot, which is really important to Evan, and I don't know if we talked about it that much on the podcast, but me and him definitely talked about it, was like the working atmosphere for the people that work there at the business that are employed by Leroy and Lewis. Like, it's this idea of like a family environment is a cliche, right? And most of the time it's a lie, but like these folks work together, and they hang out and socialize together, and they help each other with their independent projects, and they like blossom and grow and move on to other things. And it's really important for that to be the way that the business is run to Evan. And also he makes himself available to, people that just want to come in and see the process, and ask questions about, how he's put his business together. Like maybe they're in Pittsburgh and they want to put a restaurant together, and he's willing to like contribute to the culture of food and that culinary legacy. And man, I love everything about the way he's approaching his business and his mindset and his insistence on really good quality that is always there and is being innovative and doesn't sit back and rest on his laurels and become complacent, which is, it's like that's the death of a great spot to eat. Like a place gets a bunch of attention and then they mismanage how to ramp up production, or they lose sight a little bit of what maybe was the impetus to start that creative process in the beginning. And man, then you go back a year later and it just is a disappointment. And I can definitely say, like, having eaten there last year, and then like I drove into Austin straight to Leroy and Lewis. I got a cheeseburger. I got pork hash and rice, and they were nice enough to give me a piece of cheesecake for my birthday. And man, it was all like just fantastic and something to think about, until the next time I come and can enjoy it. So anyway, in a podcast about craft and people paving their own way and creativity, I can't think of anyone better to talk to for the next hour or so than Evan Leroy of Leroy and Lewis, Austin, Texas. Hey folks, welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm making this evening I'm making just like a brief stop overnight in Austin, Texas on my way to meet up with Jesse Griffiths and Chef Jean-Paul and Ben O'Brien, and we're going to chase turkeys for the next 4 or 5 days down in South Texas. And since I was going to be here just for an overnight stop, I had to contact one Evan Leroy of Leroy and Lewis fame, barbecue steward and innovator, fried food officiator. But yeah, man, big time important fella when it comes to American barbecue in these times. And man, I just went over there and ate, and again, absolutely one of the best burgers in America.
Thank you.
Your staff was very kind and gave me a piece of smoked cheesecake. It had like
those are all very flattering words.
Apple butter,
yeah,
and like a little cheese crisp. Real nice
piece of cheddar
nice
cheese.
Play with like the like a East Coast apple pie.
I'm glad you had a good experience. Thanks for having me here,
dude. Ooh, so first thing I want to talk about before we'll get in on all the like where did you learn to barbecue and that stuff, but.
First of all, I have to say, when you guys come back with turkeys or any pieces of turkey, let me know. I can, happy to smoke some for you guys.
Ooh, yeah, dude, I'm way into that, man.
Seems like the only type of skill missing from that collection of people is a pitmaster.
There's a chud box there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I think, and an offset, right? There is an offset because we've cooked on it there.
I don't know. But, dude, I want to talk about the hash. That's what I was about to lose my train of thought, man. So,
pork hash.
Like, personal favorite, kind of like death row meal of mine is like rice and gravy, right?
So good.
And I'm down with it, like in really any iteration of it. But I'm going to keep it. I'm going to refer to this as like, look, everything kind of stew on top of rice, right?
Yeah.
Like jollof or curry. I mean, all that stuff is amazing. But I'm talking about just like Southern, liquefying the stuff that's on the pan.
Yes.
And getting that on some rice and making a meal out of it, right? Yes.
Something that's foundational, like flavor-wise about it, but there's not like a lot of substance to it. So you have to add other things to it to make it, kind of stretch it out.
Yeah.
Liquefy it, put it over rice.
The green onions, like really... I mean, that's just not like pretty, right? Like that adds a textural component to it, man. But dude, that's the kind of stuff, like food wise, that's the kind of stuff that turns me on, right? Because it's like playing, it's an homage. So this is how I interpret it anyway, right? So like it's an homage to like food that is, very meaningful and important to certain communities, right, in America. Also, just like I would imagine, like bottom line, running a restaurant, man. That's a way That's a way to use up all the bits and pieces, right?
That's where it comes from. It's a completely reused dish, so it's a bunch of, we cook the whole hogs. We actually break them down into pieces from Loncito. They're raised at the ranch that you're going to hunt at. And we break them down into different shoulder pieces and middle pieces and smoke them over direct coals. We burn the coals down in our fire in the firebox of our offset smoker. Live charcoal, we shovel it up right underneath so the smoke comes from the juices and the fat dripping down on them. And then we pick all the meat off, and then the stuff that got a little too crispy, it's not burnt, but we just don't want to fold it into our nice, like, fluffy, delicious, pulled whole hog meat. We just, it's a little too crispy. It's like you might like gnaw on it and chew on it and kind of pull it out of your mouth. So we take that, and we take all the bones from the hog and make a stock out of it. And we puree all those crispy pieces of meat into that stock, along with some cooked rice, and then just like mustard, hot sauce, vinegar. That's it.
Oh, you puree rice up into the hash?
Yeah, that's kind of what thickens it up. That and the pieces of meat both thicken it up.
Man, it's really brilliant, man. And it's again, man, it's like it's not reinventing the wheel, right? And it makes sense on all these practical levels, man. But putting that on a menu as one of your standard sides, I mean, that's so. It just speaks volumes, right? It's like it's not Bush's baked beans, right?
Yeah. Well, it's a Carolina barbecue side. We started doing it because we saw people like L.A. Moss and Brian Furman doing it from Buxton Hall previously and Beast Cracklin', and their hash is awesome. And we fell in love with it when we met them at different events and trying it there. And we were like, oh, well, we have this now. We have the ability to cook hogs, and we have all the stuff to make this, so why don't we just do that? It's essentially free money. Because we put it over rice, and any rice we have left over goes into the hash that then goes over the other rice. It's like 100%, like I said, 100% reuse, except for like the mustard and everything else. Even the bones that we pick out would have just gone into the trash, but that, make a stock with them.
Yeah, man, but it's also like, it's like that idea of like 1,000-year-old soup, right? Or like Hank Shaw, who's been on the podcast, like really influential wild game cook.
Yeah.
He whenever he braises venison, he uses like the same master stock, right?
Yeah,
it's like in a
the
quart,
mother stock.
And he like freezes it, and then he just keeps doing it, man. And it just gets like deeper and like weirder. And you know what happens too, man, is those flavors get weird in a way that's like good and comforting and works, but like it's a change that's almost like imperceptible over time. You just like, like have you ever had like really good balsamic? That's super aged and syrupy. Oh yeah. It's just like, it's just the time and the effort is the ingredient.
Yeah. I mean, specifically with the hash, also exactly like you said, it's an economic thing, and then us being kind of what I describe as like a new American version of barbecue. It comes from just other barbecue traditions, right? So we have Texas barbecue tradition with the beef cheeks, with the brisket, with that kind of stuff. And then we have also the southeastern United States barbecue tradition with the whole hog and with the hash and that kind of stuff too. So it fits in multiple ways.
Yeah, man. But I don't want to beat this dead horse, man. But it just like says something, It's it's like if you went to a restaurant, they just had like a stone soup, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the same sort of thing, right?
Something very simple.
Because you're also saying that, like, look, these simple ingredients are high quality enough that I can present them to you.
And the cookery on it is executed well. I think barbecue in general is, and the way that we do it specifically, is a fine line between like, presenting something that maybe looks can look a little sloppy, but in a neat way. Mm-hmm. Or something that is like, looks a little like gruel or looks a little like slop, but it actually is like hiding these just intense, delicious flavors.
Well, it's intentional, right? Like, people, you can get away with a multitude of sins,
Yeah.
Like if it's intentional and folks know you meant to do it.
Like if we just put sides on our plate and meat without like the bread and without all the garnish, it doesn't look good. Like it's just brown on brown on brown.
Yeah.
But like the Frito pie and the hash and like the pile of barbacoa and the pile of hog with everything on it, with the sauces, with the pickles and jalapenos and kimchi and like all the garnishes and beautiful stuff on there, it looks great.
Yeah. And that's like the kimchi thing. It's like everyone's doing kimchi now, and I'm kind of just getting into like nerdy food stuff, but like everyone's doing kimchi now, but you're not strong arming it into it. Like it makes absolute sense, and not just because of like references to Korean barbecue, just Carolina, the idea of that vinegar to help cut that fat, like that mouth coat, right?
Absolutely.
And then that idea of the kind of effervescence of like fermentation, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that, you start building these layers, and you're not sure why it's different, but it's because of that.
It's like it just adds. It functions like a pickle. It just adds so much more.
Yeah.
When I was living and working in New York at this barbecue place called Hill Country, one of the guys who worked there was Korean. He brought in his mom's kimchi. We put it on a brisket sandwich. And that was a light bulb moment. It was just like, why don't we just serve this along with the rest of the lineup of the pickles? And why aren't there other pickled vegetables here? And he kind of led me down that kind of path of questioning that eventually, at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, why don't we cook other cuts? And why don't we use other flavor profiles? And all that stuff kind of became what we call new school barbecue now, which is like focus on sourcing specifically from Texas, well taken care of animals, and then just trying to kind of maintain the style of barbecue and the service style and keep it a little bit grounded, but also just different enough.
Yeah, dude, that's the best stuff. Yeah. It's like something that's, man, it is coming down out there.
Yeah.
Man, you've got something that's been proven through the test of time, right? But it's still like a living, like growing thing, right? Is that hail? Dude, that is gnarly. Yeah, that's legit, dude.
A little bit of
hail. Yeah, these turkeys are going to be gobbling in the morning. So, have you heard this? Have you heard this? I don't know what you call it. Some TikTok meme. I guess you call it a meme. That like when men get to 38, they either get really into World War II or really into barbecue.
Yeah. It's like choose your personality, and it's like a golf club, a grill spatula, like something else.
Yeah, and I've kind of like
those are all my personality. By the way.
I've kind of been going through like some waves of it. Like last year, like working up to turkey season, I was doing this remodel job, and I was just listening to these biographies of like all these like a lot of people that were in World War II, but just trying to understand it, like what led to World War II, right, and the different sides. And
it's interesting. I found myself listening to books about Genghis Khan. It's actually Genghis Khan, and like I was watching this documentary. This is fascinating, by the way, about like partition in India and Pakistan. When they like drew that border and this specific train that goes across that border and the people that board it every day and work and live back and forth and the people that it carries and how it kind of divided like this huge mass of people. And my wife walks in. She's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "This thing about trains in India." And she's like, "That sounds so boring."
Yeah,
but I was like, "You don't get it. It just has everything. It's like socioeconomic. Like it's so interesting."
Yeah, man. Oh God, yeah. Too many ruminations of mid-age. But yeah, I wonder what that is. I can tell you, like, my interest in barbecue. You know, it comes out of I'm into deceivingly simple foods, right?
Yeah.
Shit that takes a lifetime to get right, you know, a gumbo or a sauce or whatever it is. Like, and you're still making like kick-ass versions of it the whole time.
Yeah.
But you're always trying to find that thing that you probably can't ever really find, right? And like when I realized that, like, the idea of like direct heat method, right? Like that pit style, right? Where you're actually getting the meats being flavored by the vaporizing of like the fat, right? Like that's becoming aerosolized, right? And then settling on the skin. And man, it really, I like went down a rabbit hole with it, right? And then when you and Bradley from Chud's Barbecue came up there, I was not really hip at all to like the offset stuff.
Yeah.
And then like shit, probably like 6 months later, like like up in North Carolina, like building this offset with my buddy Thomas. And I've been able to do some. I have not. That thing is so big and it's up at the lodge, so like it gets used a whole bunch, like during certain times of the year. So I'm still not where I want to be with it, but man, it's been like making jerky fantastic.
Yes.
Doing lots of like cures on legs and thighs from birds, and like doing tasso cures on them. Yeah. And raccoons, man. I'll tell you what, man. The raccoons is where it really, I think it's really changed some people's minds on some stuff, man. And it looks cool. I mean, it looks gnarly. Like you open it up, I'll have a bunch of sweet potatoes on there, right? Just like smoking, and then like a coon all splayed out.
Yeah.
And I'll always like leave the tail on it, so it just looks a little more yeesh.
It's kind of funny that you know, hunting and outdoors is your job and barbecue's your hobby. And then for me, it's kind of like the opposite, because barbecue's my job, and then trying to get to the outdoors, trying to kind of seek out that food at its most, or you know, at its origination point, at the source. That's kind of like my entry into it.
Yeah. It was good overlay, man. And look, again, dude, another relationship in my life that has come through knowing Jesse Griffiths, man.
Great guy.
Dude, really good
Incredible chef.
Really, really good dude. Man, you know what, dude? He's like, what's fun about him, man, is that dude, he's like so unassuming, right? And like came up and we were like fishing, and just like immediately I was like, this dude's just so rad, right? Just so cool. And then you realize that like down here, man, this like he's like a beacon for people, right? Like he like really has had a lot to do with the culinary scene in Austin. Big time. Which means that like he's a really influential force in American food. Extremely.
He is he's one of the few people that I just like look to when I'm just like, well, I don't know. What's this guy doing? You know, what's he doing next? That's probably what's going to be interesting, and what other people are going to be doing too.
Dude, he's so smart, man. I've been going down a tamale rabbit hole. I mean, I just did a tamale, a bear tamale demonstration.
Did you? And you made the masa with bear grease?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
it's probably amazing,
dude. They were quite tasty, man. I did a bunch of like I did Nestle Toll House cookies, but just swapped out the butter for bear grease, and then did a bunch of tamales. And man, it was like a bunch. It was like 140 cookies, and
whoa.
I don't know, probably about the same on tamales, but like a bunch of people got to try it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just I was reading in Jesse's book, I think it's the Hog book. He's talking about making tamales, right? Now it's just like a thing he does. Like this is a Texan, right? And like this is a thing they do with leftover.
I've done it in my family every year since I was born.
Is it like a holiday thing?
It's a holiday thing. It is our family tradition. It's been passed down from, me, my mother, my grandmother, her mother, and then, before that, who knows. But, yeah, we make them every year, and now we make them at the food truck, too.
Your family recipe?
Well, I mean, this is also part of what traditions are and what a family recipe is, right? It's like you take something, and, change it as to your own generation, even if it's just a little bit, even if it is just like, this thing got slightly modernized and it's a different type of flour, it's a different type of X, or it's a different type of Y. So, the recipe that my grandmother hand wrote that my mom still has is not that good of a recipe. So it's got
took balls to say
it has
that,
Crisco in it, and there's not a lot of salt in it.
Yeah.
They use fresh masa, which is good. But when we make them for the truck, it's really, we're trying to use all this fat that we have. So we kind of bind it up with some dry masa and some stock, and then stuff it full of barbecue, and those are our tamales. The ones that when I have made them just with friends and stuff at Christmas time, I like to mix up the flavors and do a lot of different stuff with the masa. And then when my mom does it,
stock in the masa?
Yeah.
Okay.
The pork ones get pork fat and pork stock.
Yeah. I mean, that's, of course, it makes total sense. I've just been putting water. I can't believe it. Yeah.
And then when my mom does it, she makes the masa similarly to how my grandmother did it. But my grandmother also had kidney problems, so there was a point where she just stopped using salt. So she didn't have any salt in her recipe. Yeah. So I was like, Mom, you got to put a little bit of seasoning in this stuff. We can't just hold this up as our tradition and just have it be plainly not good. We have to make it good. So she put salt in it. Yeah, that's our thing. And I would like to eventually, I want to make it something bigger. I want to spin it off into its own business. I want to do CPG stuff with it. I think there's room for interesting barbecue tamales. I think we can sell them online.
Totally.
Half dozens.
Totally.
We really lean into that. So, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Tamales.
I've done. So we did bear, obviously, right? Started with ducks. Did speckled belly geese. Did sandhill cranes.
Yeah.
We came down here and got some cranes and cooked up the legs and thighs from those suckers. Feral hog. I think that might be. Oh no, turkey.
You made tamales with all those?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I've just been make a batch of tamales. God. We eat a bunch. I give some to some friends, and then I do another batch. And I just the first batch was cool, but it was too much masa. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I started getting the sauce, realizing I needed more sauce than I thought I did, right, to keep it moist. And then I started adding a lot more fat than the recipe I had started called for. And then, so at this Black Bear Bonanza, a lovely lady came up to me, and I'm assuming, because we were talking about tamales, masa tamales, I'm assuming she was of Mexican descent. But it was actually kind of embarrassing. She wanted to take a selfie with me, right? She was had eaten half the tamale, and I was like, "What'd you think, man?" And she was like, "It was good." And I was like, "Oh no, man! She got something to say about it." I was like, "Dude, no, tell me how I can make it better, right?" And her comment was that when her family makes it, so then you blend up all your guajillo peppers or all that stuff you've rehydrated, right? And you're blending that up. She says that her family sieves it through cheesecloth.
Yeah.
And gets all the skin. And I wasn't doing that. I was leaving I had them de-seeded, but it was still pulpy, right?
I've heard, I don't like to strain it. I think it's an annoying extra step. We don't ever strain. I'd never strain a red chili sauce.
Really?
I don't even empty all the seeds out, I do try to dry toast them, though. That definitely increases the flavor.
Wait. The peppers before you rehydrate them?
Yeah.
Really?
A little dry toast. If you can do them on a griddle, you can do them in the oven very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
but it'll make them slightly malleable and bring out. It's just like dry toast and a spice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, man, this is a good tamale deep dive, man.
Dude, I'll go all night on tamales.
So but that's interesting, man, because I was very inclined. I said, okay, I told Leda, I was like, I'll do that next time. I'll do a better job for you.
Yeah.
Right. But then you're here, man, and I respect your opinion very much, and you're saying you think it's unnecessary, huh? Is this like a tamale debate?
I think it's more just like a Mexican food debate. Like some people say it makes like the seeds and skin and stuff will make your sauce bitter, but I haven't found that. If you just balance it, it's not going to be bitter. But also I just haven't found any bitterness in it.
Yeah.
And it also depends on what your use for it is. I don't know. If you want like a more of a clear brothy kind of soup, I would strain it. If I am just kind of make a bunch of tamales with it, I'm probably not going to go through the time to strain it. If I'm making a salsa that I want some texture to, I'm not going to strain it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad to know there's a debate around it.
Yeah.
Man, what do you think? So I kind of was alluding to it, man, but what do you think the allure of barbecue is, right? Because it's definitely, what would you say? It's having a renaissance. Like it's becoming popular, right? Like people spend a lot of money on it as like a hobby, and like I wasn't even really aware of like the competition stuff.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, man, people like get real serious about it, and they spend a lot of money on their equipment and trying to get the best quality products, and man, dude, people really dedicate themselves to this as a craft.
They do in a lot of different ways too. It's varied. The style of barbecue that we cook is very different from competition barbecue. It's very different from Franklin, Valentina's, Terry Black's. Like every single place is pretty different. But the thing that makes barbecue makes it really interesting, that makes people want to do it a lot. Meat is craveable, right? Meat itself is just like really good. Just all kinds of meat. It's really good. Beef, pork, chicken, lamb, all kinds of wild game. It's all delicious. And there's something about manipulating the fire that's also really primal, and kind of combining those two things just, I feel like, awakens something in you that you just like feel like kind of like just something coursing through your veins.
Yeah.
But it's also this kind of, there are like certain tentpole things. There's the brisket, and there's the ribs, and there's the chicken, and there's the sausage, and it's like you have these very comparable, things. It's not very varied also at the same time, because all those places that I named, including us, do serve brisket, so people can go and say, all right, well, I'm going to judge this place based on their brisket.
You do serve brisket?
On Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So people are like, I'm going to go and judge this place based on their brisket, and that's going to be the measuring stick for me. And I've never liked that debate, because that forces we want the industry to grow, and that forces the entire industry to buy only select cuts of meat. And, that's not sustainable by any measure. Mm-hmm. So we've always wanted to just be like, all right, change the conversation. It's not just about how's the brisket. It's like, where does the meat come from? That's what we always wanted to say with our food, with our restaurant, with our food truck.
Oh man, dude, I'm sitting here and like thinking of specific items on the menu, and I was very complimentary earlier, man, and I mean, if you haven't Googled them yet, which is, I'm glad that when I met you and Bradley, I hadn't Googled you, because I would have been intimidated to cook for you. But this is like nationally, probably at this point internationally known barbecue, right?
Maybe.
You said you're getting this big push now from
Somebody Feed Phil.
Yeah, which is a show on Netflix. And was it last year when you got on the Texas Monthly?
That was 21.
Okay.
For Texas Monthly. 22, Somebody Feed Phil. Who knows what's going to happen in 23?
But so you're There was, what was the other video? Didn't Eater do a video?
Eater did a really big video. It came out like April of 2020. So yeah.
Yeah, so like got a bunch of press on the onset, but you like kept it going, right? And getting bigger and building.
That specific video has like a few million views.
Yeah, I went back and looked at that after.
Yeah.
You guys had come up and like been fishing, man, and I was like, oh shit. That's like, man, I made gumbo one time. I had this rad lady named Rosemary came and hunted for the weekend. She was like super, super cool. And, I do like often I'll do like, dirty rice or gumbo or, just kind of lower Arkansas, Louisiana type stuff, right?
Yes.
And so I'd been doing that stuff like the whole time. And at the end of the hunt, she's like, oh, hey, I wanted to give you something. And she like pulled out some jars of Tabasco sauce, like chili starter. Whoa. And I was like, oh, that's nice. It was a nice gesture or whatever. And then she's like, and then here's a bottle of this aged Tabasco. I mean, honestly, I thought she had like stopped at a gift shop or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, and that one still has Daddy's signature on it, right?
Whoa.
And she's like, yeah, like her last name is on the bottle of Tabasco.
Holy
and I'm like, oh, dude, I've been cooking. I've been feeding you gumbo and dirty rice and stuff. I'm like, oh, man, it messed me up.
You're just like, try this other hot sauce.
Dude. But yeah, man, I've actually had occasion to, just because of hunting and being outside and stuff, man, like just meet really cool people that are, I mean, that's basically what the whole podcast is about, right?
Exactly.
But so, man, let's circle back to I mean, I guess we could do like the standard, like, man, where did you learn? How did you start barbecue, right? Because I think that's probably useful to the conversation. And then I want to talk about beef cheeks and raccoons.
So very quickly, I am from Austin. I ate a lot of barbecue growing up, Salt Lick and Kreitz Market specifically, and then when I went to college, I went to Florida State. I started cooking in restaurants when I was there. And when I graduated, it was 2008. There were no editorial jobs for the English degree that I had. And I moved back home to go to culinary school. It was an abbreviated program. It was only about 6 months. And then I moved to New York City, where the girl I met senior year had moved. She's my wife now. We have a 4-year-old daughter. In New York City, I was working at some restaurants, and then I started working at this barbecue place called Hill Country. And then I became the pitmaster there. I moved to Austin in 2012. Back to Austin in 2012. Worked at a place called Friedman's. That's where I met Brad. That's where I met a bunch of other barbecue people from 2012 to 2016. Then we opened Leroy and Lou's in 2017 with my partners, Nathan and Sawyer, and then my wife, Lindsay. Nathan and Sawyer are industry veterans of a long time. Nathan is a brewing scientist, and Sawyer is like a front of house, just like guru. And yeah, we have a solid ownership team. We have a lot of really talented people on our team. We have a unique perspective in barbecue, I think. So it really just comes down to local meat made on pits that we built, and try to just be just a little different.
And you're using post oak?
Post oak, yep.
Which is like, post oak is a very Texas thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, Texas, there's different parts of Texas that use mesquite, that can use like white oak or
surely pecan,
red oak, pecan. Yeah. So it can be varied here in Texas, but we like to use post oak.
Man, what do you think mesquite is good for? Because mesquite imparts like a definite flavor. Yeah.
It's an intense flavor. If you work within it in a certain way, it can be really good on the offset. Valentina's does a very good job. I like it for grilling, for like an open fire grill. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that was just a personal question. Man, these are some creaky chairs.
I know.
We're at my friend Carly's house. I don't know where she's at right now, but we've turned her air conditioner on, and we're sitting at her kitchen
It's
table.
nice and cool in here now.
Dude, yeah, it was. I was sweating when I first came in here. I didn't know what was going on.
So I've gotten out into the field a little bit since the last
great
time
segue, man.
that we were together. Because
tell me about this.
Well, I was kind of talking to you, and we had planned this other hunt with this guy that we knew, and it was a nil guy, and I had only been dove hunting before, and you're like, you might want to slow down, dude, take it kind of step by step. And I was like, that sounds like really good advice. And so the things never materialized with the nil guy, but it did kind of naturally grow step by step. I went dove hunting a few more times with my friend Josh from Spoke Hollow and my friend Davis from Huckleberry. And then Josh also took me and Brad upland hunting with him. So quail and chucker and pheasant. And then we, this past January, went to my friend's ranch near Loncitos, actually. Okay. And I shot a deer for the first time. And broke it all down and just had the full experience. Made a bunch of sausage with it. Still have a bunch of ground in my freezer. I made birria tacos, which were very good. And yeah, it was just it was a good experience all around. It was what I thought it would always be. I got the bug. I'm kind of ready to do some more hunting.
What did you think about? Is that the first big critter you killed?
Yes.
What did it I think when you it was to hunting, it's
it wasn't anything
about it.
difficult. It was over corn. I kind of sighted this rifle with with the guy who was there with us. And I shot really well, and then we went out on the little four-wheeler, dropped some corn, and kind of picked one out, and had a good line of sight, had a good shot right through the shoulder. It was all, I don't know, it was like I drew it up kind of. It was kind of easy to make it happen.
Yeah.
It was a powerful moment, obviously, when you walk up to that still warm and bleeding animal, and then having to pull it out of the woods is a whole nother, you don't think about that in the lead up to it. And then my other friend who I kind of grew up with, who it's her and her husband's family's ranch, she got an axis, I got a whitetail, and so I broke both of them down for her, and kind of, or for them, and gave them a bunch of ground and sausages and stuff too. But it was, I don't know, it was just a great experience. Loved it. The food's still great. We're still eating a bunch of it. Nobody ever told me how waxy that fat is, and how difficult it is. Tallow? No, well, to just because I told you I made those birria tacos, and I tried to put enough fat in there, but
no, man.
On pans and stuff, you just kind of scrub and scrub and scrub, and the fat is just stuck
when it gets cold.
Yeah,
I was talking to a guy. I don't know. He was probably a teenager or something, but he was saying, "Man, I got all this deer tallow that I rendered down. What do you think I should do with it?" I was like, "Man, rub it on your boots, or put on your gloves." I'm being legit. Use it for that. Make candles with it. Make soap with it. Bear grease is phenomenal, right? Pig fat's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hell, duck fat. I just had a guy tell me alligator fat and iguana fat was really good, but deer fat it's just tallowy, waxy.
Yeah.
You get in your mouth, it just coats your mouth.
Yeah.
It messes up your meal, but yeah, man, I'm surprised no one told you that, but yeah, that's a lesson you gotta learn, I guess.
Yeah.
It's I'm glad that you're getting more involved with it. Even if it never became more than a novelty for you, I think that everybody should have to go through that process, right?
Yeah.
Now, Yeah, I would say that like what you've described so far is still sounds pretty clinical to me.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so
Pretty
like,
tame.
Yeah, man, it's and like
and it's still
hunting's different in Texas too than other places.
Yeah,
and the way the land is managed, but yeah, no, I'm not yucking your yum, dude. I'm down that you're getting into it, man, because it's like, dude, look, if all you ever did was like once a year, you went out and repeated that scenario, right, and did not eat the tallow, right? Like, I've said this a million times. That's exponentially more honest than even you going and getting pigs from Loncito's Ranch, right?
Right.
Because like you didn't have the shit on your hands, right?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have the blood on your hands metaphorically, right?
Yeah,
But like not literally.
It's the truth.
You know, and I'll tell you what else is cool about Texas is that you've got all these non-natives down here, right? That you can serve on a menu in a restaurant, man. Mm-hmm. That would actually be, dude.
Well, Jesse does it because he has like I think like a supper club workaround thing. You can't just serve it on any like we don't serve. We haven't.
Well, no, you're not serving whitetail, but like
right.
I
thought stuff like a nilgai you can, right? Like a non-native.
Yeah, but if it's like harvested, you know, like
I guess you're right. Like it would still have to go through like
it has to go to like USDA or something. But not if you. Jesse has some kind of supper club workaround that he like serves some of that stuff. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he's. I don't know what he's serving. I know he's doing like white bass. He does some white bass stuff up there. But I'm pretty sure they serve nilgai at Daidui.
Yeah, I think they do too.
I'm not sure. I mean, like whatever he's doing is totally above board. But
yeah,
yeah, man. I think. I mean, do you think have you felt like a desire to like, you know, spend a night out there and do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm still in the
you're in the
very
infancy,
first steps. Yeah, I mean, I want to follow this as far as it can go.
You can do.
Yeah,
dude, especially with you barbecuing, man. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Everybody would want you at their lodge, man. And dude, so I would say like for barbecue, right? Like obviously the stuff, the wild game, that's best for it is stuff that has fat that's tasty, right?
Yeah.
So that's everything I just named, right? Bears, it's great, like bear hams and bacon. I did some bear bacon. I cured this bear heart and
hell yeah,
like kind of made tassery. Obviously pigs, you got tons of them down
wild
here.
pigs,
ducks and geese, right? But yeah, man, that coon. So why don't you describe the way that? Because I just took your method for doing beef cheeks.
Yeah.
And I'm doing raccoons
Different
like that,
raccoon.
and it works great, man.
Yeah. So the beef cheeks, we just trim them really simply. Just try to isolate a big muscle, heavy pepper rub because it's a piece of beef and it's Texas, and smoke it for about 4 hours, and then confit it in beef fat for about another 4 hours till they're not quite shred apart. That's how we cook our barbacoa, but the beef cheeks will be like sliceable. The idea is like with a properly cooked brisket, it's like sliceable. It's not overcooked to the point of being chopped up. And that's the same thing with the beef cheek. But if you've done that with raccoon, what kind of fat do you confit it in, or do you braise it?
So yeah, I guess I'm not doing purely your method, man. So I'm doing like kind of 50-50 fat. And like some sort of. Man, I've usually got tons of like duck stock floating.
Aromatics,
so,
yeah.
Just throw that in there, man, and then a bunch of whatever fat I've got. So it's not bear because like that stuff's so precious to me, man. But yeah, dude, I ended up with the last couple of years just a ton of pig fat, man.
Yeah,
and rendered that down and did a bunch with it. And this past year, man, lots of duck fat. Just the birds were.
Yeah.
The birds were as fat as I've ever seen them.
Whoa.
Like just kind of across the board, man. There was just opportunities to get duck fat off of that. But and then, dude, I do a lot of that same stuff where I'll save it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, whatever's left of that cooking liquid, man, I'll strain it off and put it in a 2-gallon Ziploc and double bag it and freeze it. And then next time I make greens or I make gumbo or whatever, man, I'm just going to pull that out, right?
Yeah.
Because you already started, like, everybody else is starting, like, at a 0 with, like, water.
Right,
But, like, you're starting at a 4 already, right?
Yeah.
What was the impetus to start using beef cheeks? Because that's not a traditional, like, barbecue cut.
So we always wanted to feature different barbecue cuts, but when we very first started, it was South by Southwest week, which it is right now as well as we're recording. And we hadn't opened yet, but we had some events and catering events booked during South by, and all of them wanted brisket. And when we went to go order the brisket, our purveyors didn't have it because we were, specifically only trying to source locally. We didn't have a bunch of purveyors yet that we knew. So we said, okay, well, what other kind of cuts do you have? And they had some beef cheeks, so we bought those and prepared them similarly to brisket. And didn't serve it as brisket. We told them it was beef cheeks, but they were like, oh, wow, this is even better. And that's what a lot of people say still every day to us.
Yeah, the cheek of just about every
animal.
critter is good, man.
Because they're all eating all the time. They're all chewing, and it's like flapping all the time.
Man, they're good on catfish, man. Like, you get big ones, you get those catfish.
Fish cheeks are great.
I cut the cheeks out of this elk I killed.
Nice.
2 years ago, whenever I killed that elk. Yeah, and, it was also kind of a flex because my buddy I was hunting with, he was like, dude, he's like, I've never seen anybody take the cheeks off one of those, man. I was like, dude.
Gotta be good. I bet they were big too, right?
Man, this was an elk of the year. It was like a calf.
Yeah.
It was an antlerless tag. But so, no, they weren't huge, man. They were, I don't know, racquetball sized. But I'm sure like on a big bull elk, man, I don't know if you'd be at cow size, but you'd be approaching, what's a cow, about like a softball size cheek?
Yeah, it's like a fist.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the and I don't just mean like with inflation, but have you seen the value of that cut go up over the years?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. And also, things like barbacoa are even more popular now too. Mm-hmm. And that's like the same cut. So, yeah, definitely the price has gone up and the demand for it has gone up too. Are you booked out yet for the fall?
No, man. And I was actually talking to a dude about that when I was driving down here, man. I'm gonna do a couple different things, man. I think we're gonna do some hunts in Texas this year.
Yeah. Because we talked about getting like a group of people up there, like a group of chefs up there.
Yeah.
I think we can still do that. I want to do that.
Yeah, no, it'd be fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could count off like 4 or 6 other like barbecue people specifically who would be down.
Man, it would. I was talking to that dude from Distant Relatives, and then
Damien?
and then he got COVID like right when it was. Well, actually, man, he texted me that he had COVID when I was coming off the mountain with that elk I was just telling you about. And yeah, he didn't get to come, dude. But yeah, what they're doing is real interesting too, man.
So good.
And that's like, I mean, just the name kind of tells you Distant Relatives, right? But it's kind of like examining that African culinary diaspora, right?
Yeah. Through
Southern food and barbecue. I haven't been over there to eat yet, man, but everything just looks really, like, again, man.
It's fantastic.
Just thought about.
Yes, everything is considered.
Yeah, and that, that's really a problem. I'd say it goes to 2 extremes with like wild game, right? Mm-hmm. There's a complete lack of consideration, right? And I'm going to speak for myself. I was trying to figure out how to present this belief of mine, right? I'm speaking for myself, right? It's difficult for me to imagine getting an animal, a bear or a deer or an elk or something, and then dropping it off with somebody, and then them cutting it up and grinding it up and mixing it up and making my sausages.
I feel the exact same way. That's part of why I want to do it. That's part of why I want to hunt, is so I can break the animal down and cook it all.
Well, just
from
for
beginning to end.
You're so invested in the process of like getting to that point, right? Like the process stuff doesn't end, right?
Yeah.
But I think we either go one side where it's just like, oh man, I just drop them off and get the whole thing made in a snack
Sausage
steaks,
or
right?
whatever, yeah.
Or we make it way too precious, right? And there's a lot of this, the pictures are like this dark, oversaturated thing.
Yeah.
And I've tried to play in those waters a little bit, and I'm not any good at it. But there's just too much shit, right? There's all these processes, and you're not letting this thing be what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you're doing this extensive process to it, right? And part of it is you're trying to flex with unusual ingredients, right? Or, in my mind, I just think of people talking about Asian flavors, and it's just like overly sweet, oyster sauce or whatever, right?
Right.
Or like it gets too frou-frou, and like I've seen like microgreens and stuff kind of popping up a little bit lately, and man, to me the sweet spot is like it's in the middle and then up a notch, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be the mean, right? But like it's not about making something that's palatable for everybody. It's about, and this is a kind of a frou-frou description, man, but it's about trying to hit a wavelength that is like kind of that hits a lot of different people, right?
We talk about the Venn diagram a lot. That's just like barbecue and then like something else, right? And then whatever is in the middle is what we want to do, because it has to be attached to what we do, and then it has to be kind of attached to this other thing that we're reaching for. If it's like, barbecue and Mexican food, then kind of that beef cheek, barbacoa, hit that, smoking both of those really kind of hits that thing like right in the middle. Or if it's like kind of barbecue and like German food, where a lot of the kind of Central Texas traditions come from, that's where our like braised cabbage and sausage dish comes from. And so we try to incorporate those all throughout the menu, but just have something that's just a little bit familiar and a little bit unfamiliar.
Yeah. Because the familiar part brings you in, right? And like lets you know like this is gonna be all right.
Exactly.
But we're gonna take you on a little bit of a ride, right?
Yeah. Or if you do come up with something completely weird and different, like if you call it something semi-familiar, if you come up with a name that people are like, "Oh wow, interested," then they'll like eat it up. Like I remember we were trying to, we make all these beef cheeks and we trim so much scrap from them, and the beef cheeks are the thing that we're most known for, but they produce a lot of, it's not really waste. We make it into our barbacoa, but it is shredded beef, and it's the least desirable thing on our menu according to our guests. It is really good, but we just have to find ways to like use it and put it into stuff and just like figure out ways to
the barbacado.
Sell it. Yeah. So this one dish we came up with was just like a bunch of that ground kind of meat scraps, and we just cooked it up with like some frozen corn that we had in the freezer and some other flavors, and just made it a little spicy, and we put it over rice, and we just called it boom boom rice. And like people were like, "Oh, tell me about the boom boom rice." Like we were just like, you just come up with something, I don't know, weird and funky, and just like if you call it something weird, then some people will just get into it.
Yeah, or you make it. What you do, man, is you can take the scare out of it too.
Yeah.
Like when I was cooking in this bar and like really like pushing some stuff. Well, not occasionally I was pushing stuff. But like I was in there like cooking pig's heads down, right? And making head cheese.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm trying to figure out how to sell head cheese sandwiches to these cats, man. And I mean, just like simple, like on grilled bread and like sweet pickles and like mustard and arugula or something. And so I just called them, fancy spam sandwiches.
Yeah.
And people would buy them.
Love that fancy spam, dude.
Yeah, man, that's
so
good. That's a fancy spam, man. But if I call it hog's head cheese or souse or something, they wouldn't want to touch it.
They're like, what's the souse? Well, it's every part of the head, including the nose.
Do you, man, you ever mess with making scrapple?
I haven't to any success. Like, I've taken the way that we make the hash is like we put all the hash meat, those little pieces of delicious, and then we put it in the stock. And then at that point, I kind of like, I stopped myself and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I can just kind of just make like scrapple if I put a bunch of cornmeal in here right now. So I did that one time on a batch and then it just didn't set right. So no, I haven't done it really. I haven't really gone down the rabbit hole with it, but I've thought about it.
Yeah, man. I bet it would. I mean, I've done kind of similar stuff, like mess with it. I mean, look, dude, you mix it together and, put it on a griddle, man. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that could be, I think it could be, it's essentially a tamale, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Basic, same ingredients, right? If you use grits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could do some dope stuff with that, man. I really want to, like, I'll tell you what doesn't get used on, like, a deer, man, is the head. Like, all these does that are getting killed, man, like, you could totally just, now people boil skulls down to make gyro mounts, man, but you could literally take all that stuff and make scrapple or make it like a cool hash.
Yeah, or that's what traditional South Texas barbacoa is. It's beef head. It includes the tongue and the cheeks. That's mostly what the meatier parts of it are, but it's also like the piece behind the eyes and the soft palate on the roof of the mouth and like everything, dude. They chop up the ojos.
It's the eyes.
Yeah.
I think it would totally work, man. You'd have to do probably several to.
Yeah.
Or, man, like an elk head or something. Or, I'll tell you what I thought about was doing it with a bear head.
That'd be so cool.
And the reason I didn't is because I wanted the skull. Right?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, man. That's probably becoming less of a concern now that I've gotten a couple of them.
Yeah.
But, dude, yeah, that could be. But I just feel good about anytime you can take all that leftover stuff, right?
Yes, and make something good.
Dude, and like with ducks, too, I like taking the carcasses, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I break them down, get the breast off of them, right? And I get the legs and the thighs off of them, and I get the giblets out. And then you got this, like kind of small thing. You kind of crush it, break it down, or whatever.
Yep.
And I just keep throwing them in pots, dude.
Yep.
And depending on how much time you have and your inclination, dude, it's great. And you have all that skin in there and stuff. Yeah. If you'll sit there and like pick it all out, right? Especially with that skin in there that's been rendered, right? So we're like part of the way to cracklings already. You can, but you do have to sit there and you're picking out little bones, right?
Yeah,
like little rib bones and all that stuff. But you can get, a
little pile of meat.
Oh man, you can couple cups, man, and throw that on a griddle and crisp it up and let that skin get crispy and stuff. It's beautiful.
It's good.
It's really, really good, man. And like most folks were done with that duck way before that point.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Hell, dude, I even thought about. Have you seen like those old style? I associate them with France, but like, and a lot of times they're really ornate, but like duck presses.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I
want one of those.
I don't want an ornate one. I want one that's like.
I want the chud version of it.
Yeah. I want the chud version of it. Yeah, just like super utilitarian looking.
You could probably just put in a sausage stuffer.
Yeah, I think you probably could, man. If now, my sausage stuffer like that.
Well, it's got extra torque to it, and like.
This is
the duck press has like because you will press it and it'll stay. The sausage stuffer will like you gotta keep giving
back.
it. Yeah.
But I think just like even taking all those bones, and putting that in there and then crushing and just squeezing the essence out of that, man. Like that would.
Well, if you dry out the bones and then crush them up, then you just like sprinkle them in your garden, just like perlite.
Yeah. Keep the cats away, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is that bone meal? Doesn't bone meal keep something away?
I think so.
Yeah,
I always thought it was just like a physical piece of something to kind of break up soil.
Oh, I mean that makes as much sense as what I'm talking about. I thought I was keeping cats away. Man, so like what's next for Leroy and Lewis, right?
Hopefully a building. I don't know when you're going to put this out, but we'll see if that'll be in the works here. I'm working on a cookbook.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, very excited about that. Really, it's going to be different than any other kind of barbecue cookbook, so that's good.
You doing it yourself, or you got a publisher and all that stuff?
I have a co-writer, and we are working on the proposal, and hopefully we'll sell it sometime soon over the summer.
I bet you're hot enough. I bet you do it, man.
Yeah.
I think it'll be
go down. I'm excited about it.
I mean, do you think you're going to be on like real talk? You think you're going to be on like some talk shows and stuff, like some daytime television?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Regis and Kathy. Is that even a show anymore? Regis is gone, isn't he?
I don't know, man. I mean, if they're interested, yeah. I'll take a little trip to New York. Why not?
Man,
Today's Show.
I'm gonna make that prediction. I bet you in 2 years you're on like Good Morning America. Talking, and they're like, "What is this?
Sweet.
This is hash? Hash? I thought that was marijuana." Cool. Well, Carly, the owner of this home, just came home, so it seems like a good time to wrap up this podcast. But dude, like on the real, man, thanks for the barbecue inspiration, dude. It's led to some good meals, man.
Well, thank you for in the same way, the outdoors inspiration, the hunting inspiration. The trip that we took up there to fish with you was definitely inspirational. It was, I mean, I still remember all the food you cooked for us.
Oh, that's cool, man.
It was awesome.
That was like a really fun time, man.
It was a great time.
That was like you guys came up and Jesse came up, man, and it's those are both. I was just like, man, this is like the most fun ever, dude. And like too, it was like weather was rad.
Yeah.
We were like wearing fish out. Like, I'm telling you, man, them fishing trips they're not quite as fun when you're not catching all those fish.
I know.
it helps keep the skunk out of the boat. But so Leroy and Lewis is down here in Austin, Texas. Tell them where you're located at.
So 121 Pickle Road, South Austin, Texas, just off of South Congress. If you want to follow us, Instagram at Leroy and Lewis. If you want to check us out on YouTube, we post 2 YouTube videos every week, just kind of behind the scenes. If you want to see more content from us, Patreon is where you would find that. We have multiple tiers of subscription. If you want to follow me at Evan Leroy BBQ on Instagram.
You got any barbecue schools coming up?
We just did 2. We will have 2 more probably in like August or September. That's usually when we try to do one when it's at the end of the cold season, so like February, and then at the end of the hot season, like August.
Those things are in demand too, man. These like barbecue schools.
It's a lot of fun. It's about, usually 15 to 25 guys and girls, and we cook like all the meats on our menu. We break down a hog, we trim briskets, we trim cheeks, we make sausage from scratch. It's a full 3 days. It's not full 3 days. Friday night meet and greet, Saturday cook all day, Sunday we kind of like break everything down and like carve everything and pick the hog and make this big tray. It's me and Brad. Chud's Barbecue's there the whole time. So, yeah, it's our whole staff, too. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's a great weekend. You should come down for one. You should come down for that one.
You said when? August, September?
August or September.
Yeah.
Because we always have like a panel and guests, too.
Oh yeah, man.
So yeah, you're officially invited.
Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, no, hey, I'd be privileged to learn, man.
Maybe we'll just try to get you and Jesse on the same panel then.
Yeah, dude. Tell Jesse to come on with it, man.
Yeah.
No, that I'm all about that, dude. I've thought. I'm trying to wrap this up, but I've thought before, been like calling me like, hey man, can I just come and stodge in your commissary for a week?
Yes, please do. We have actually a lot of people do that.
Really?
Yeah, we've actually started to, going back to the Patreon, we've had so many people do it for years and years. We've started to try to monetize it now. So it's a perk of one of our Patreon tiers, is that you can go sign up for this Patreon tier, $30 a month, and I can schedule you to come work with us for a few days, however long you would like, to see how we cook barbecue, check out the business. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm opening a barbecue place in this spot, and I just want to see how you run the place, basically.
Dude, let them get access to that? That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we are a little bit more careful with people who are like in Texas.
Sure.
But because they're like direct competition on the list. But, everybody else, if our goal is to be influential in the style of barbecue that we cook, then that is like a huge step in doing that. And they come back to serve us in different ways. Like one of, people have been investors in different projects that we've done that have come and staged with us. The first barbecue classes that I ever did, kind of between different jobs before we opened up the food truck, introduced me to some people that I still know in the industry for years and years. So creating these relationships, reinforcing that community, that's what, all that is about. That's what the barbecue schools are about too. So, yeah.
Dude, that's really, really cool, man.
Yeah.
Do you think you ever have any like Slugworths? Like someone that's coming in there to steal your secrets?
You know what? I mean, I don't care. And this is why, when people are also just like, why do you put everything out there? That just like challenges us to do more. If people copy us, then that's good, because first of all, they're probably not going to make it as good as we did. Mm-hmm. And then that also, challenges us to come up with new stuff.
Yeah, man, it's a bold strategy, and it seems to be paying off.
Yeah.
But Evan Leroy of Leroy and Lewis and Mama Fried, thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, folks, thank you so much for listening all the way through the Black Duck Revival podcast. As always, it's produced by me, Jonathan Wilkins, and Brian Sachs. You can follow me and see what I'm up to by checking me out on my Instagram account. That's Black Duck Revival. That's the only handle. You could also check out the website, blackduckrevival.com. Please, if you're listening to this podcast, help it grow. I assure you that this podcast is growing. Sometimes it seems like it's not quite as fast as I would hope for or wish, but then I look at the content that's being created here, right? Like it's just plainly put, the conversations I'm having, and the folks that I'm having them with. Man, I feel so lucky, and I'm so appreciative that those of you that are enjoying this podcast listen. So please tell somebody you think might enjoy it as well, so we can help the podcast to grow. I've got a ton of traveling coming up in the next 2 months. I'm in Texas right now hunting turkeys, and we'll get some podcasts going with that as well. And then I'll be all over the western United States hunting turkeys and hanging out with friends and some really brilliant folks, and hopefully getting a black bear as well. So leave a review, 5 stars, tell everybody why you love it, and I appreciate you so much. Thanks to our sponsors, and we'll see you next time.